We're following breaking news as we come on the air tonight. Ohio State Highway Patrol are investigating, or is investigating, I should say, a plane crash that happened in Warren County this afternoon.
Lydia Bice live in Waynesville right now with the latest. What have you learned, Lydia?
That's right. So the Lebanon Post of the Ohio State Highway Patrol has been investigating this crash since around 1:30 today, and we now know that it was either a glider or sailplane crash. Now this afternoon we spoke with a longtime member of the club, Brian Stoops, who says that the pilot of that aircraft died in the crash. We're now working to confirm that with the Ohio State Highway Patrol.
I've known him a while. I've been in the club for a while, and you know, he's always been a great friend and a great pilot. I mean, he's a long-time experienced pilot, so like I said, it may have been a mechanical issue, it may have been a health issue, not really sure at this point.
At 4:45 this afternoon, the National Transportation Safety Board tweeted that it will now be investigating this crash. And this afternoon, I called the vice president of the Cedar Creek Soaring Club to learn more about this tragedy and exactly what led up to it, but he hasn't called me back yet. Now, of course, there's plenty more to learn about the pilot and, again, what led up to all of this. And when we learn more, we'll update you both here on air and online at Dayton247now.com. Back to you.
Well, we first brought this story as breaking news as soon as it happened. You can get those alerts sent right to your phone. Just download our free app. It's easy to do. You can take out your phone, scan the QR code on your screen. That'll take you to your app store, and you can download it again for free. All right, let's give you a live look from our Eco Plumber Sky Cam over downtown Dayton. We still got a heat advisory in effect, and there's a reason why. We got record-breaking heat today, Tim.
Yeah, record-breaking heat. That heat advisory does expire at 7 p.m. fortunately for us, but temperatures today are Dayton official temperature comes from the Dayton International Airport just north of the city, and we did pick up a 98-degree reading today at 4:20 p.m., beating our old record of 96 degrees set back in 1953. So it was a hot one out there. Still pretty warm too. Troy sitting at 97 right now. Dayton sitting at 95. 93 out towards Eaton, and 94 as you head down towards Oxford and Middletown. Of course, the evening's starting to roll in, so temperatures slowly starting to go down, but it still feels pretty hot though. Those heat indexes still feels like 98 in Dayton, and Troy feels like 97 as you head down towards Middletown. So still a very hot evening. We do have a couple of very isolated showers and storms. I'll talk more about those coming up.
The two suspects charged in the deadly shooting of a 12-year-old girl a week ago both pled not guilty to all charges in court today. Antoine Benson and Javon Connor, are both facing aggravated menacing charges. Benson is also facing a charge of weapons under disability. The two were arrested on Wednesday in connection to the death of Isabella Amor Carlos, who was shot and killed while sleeping in bed. Benson's bond is set at $500,000. Connor's is set at $100,000. Both are due back in court next week. More charges are pending.
Butler County Sheriff's Office taking to Facebook announcing a second Dayton woman was arrested in connection to thefts at a Dick's Sporting Goods last week. 26-year-old Johanny Smith was arrested with the help of Dayton police and the U.S. Marshals during a traffic stop. Smith and Tiara Roberts are accused of stealing more than $2,000 worth of clothing from Liberty Township. Now, Roberts was arrested earlier this week. Smith remains in the Montgomery County Jail.
And before we sent Lydia Bice out to that breaking news in Warren County, she was covering this story where Dayton police released this alarming video showing the arrest of a 13 and 14-year-old accused of robbing someone at gunpoint. Lydia Bice spoke to a criminal justice expert to learn what comes next for these young teens.
Tuesday evening, Dayton police say officers were on their normal patrol when they saw two suspects robbing someone at gunpoint on North Gettysburg Avenue and Necco Drive. They eventually tracked down the first suspect.
He gave me a gun. He told me to run.
And the other, who was sitting on a porch waiting for them.
Hey, show me your hands. Here. Come here. Come here.
After several incidents this summer involving teens and violence, we wanted to know how many arrests there have been so far this year. So far in 2024, we've had more juveniles arrested with a firearm than we had the entire year of 2022, with 69 so far this year and 65 in all of 2022. This is more than double what we saw in 2019 and 2020. Today, we asked Dr. Scott Belshaw, professor and chair of UD's Criminal Justice Department, why he thinks there's an increase in these arrests.
A lot of it can stem from issues of parenting. It could stem from issues of abuse. drugs and alcohol.
We know that both the 13 and 14-year-old suspects were booked in the Juvenile Justice Center on charges of aggravated robbery, carrying a concealed weapon, obstructing official business, and resisting arrest. Belshaw explains what that might mean for them in the future.
When they're charged with very serious crimes like this, they will enter the juvenile justice system, will go to a juvenile facility, and then when they meet a certain age, it depends on in different states, when they hit a certain age, they end up going into, they can either come out of the system and be paroled onto the street, or they can be transferred over to the adult system.
The Dayton Police Department's Violent Offender Unit is handling the investigation.
Well, an unimaginable tragedy has shaken the hockey and sports community in much of Ohio. NHL player Johnny Goodrow and his brother Matthew died in a crash last night. New Jersey State Police say they were hit by a car while riding bikes.
Police said a Jeep driven by this man here, Sean Higgins, was attempting to pass two slower moving vehicles when it hit the brothers. Higgins is now charged with 2 counts of death by auto, and he's suspected of being under the influence of alcohol. Now, Kellyanne Stitz is outside Nationwide Arena as Blue Jackets fans come to remember the life of Johnny Goodrow.
Blue Jackets fans and the hockey community continue to process the news of the sudden and tragic passing of Blue Jackets star forward Johnny Goodrow and his brother Matthew. Members of the fifth line, the Blue Jackets fan base, have created a memorial here outside of Nationwide Arena to remember the life and legacy of Johnny Hockey. Hockey fans gathering in front of Nationwide Arena Friday, laying down flowers, donating hockey sticks, leaving handwritten cards, all to pay their respects to number 13.
Last night when I heard about the rumors, it was really concerning. And then you didn't really know, it was a weird one where there was no official anything.
The rumors became a shocking reality, with the Blue Jackets confirming at 7:30 Friday morning that Goodrow and his brother died in a tragic accident.
When I saw the Blue Jackets announcement, and it was just kind of numbness and shock.
Goodrow was an 11-year NHL veteran, all-star, and alternate captain for the Blue Jackets, known for his dazzling skills on the ice.
With Johnny Goodrow, he's got the creativity here.
The joy he played with, I mean, he was just pure joy. I mean, no, didn't have a shred of ego. He just played like he loved the game, because he did.
But fans will remember the way he and his family embraced Columbus in 2 short seasons.
He chose this city. Like, that doesn't happen all the time. And for a superstar like him to choose Columbus, especially when, his hometown team was going for him, it meant a lot.
When his second born, Johnny, was born, I was waiting outside after the game for players, and he took his time to stop, and that's honestly something I will remember forever.
Goodrow was not only a star on the ice, but a beloved ambassador of the club who will be dearly missed.
He's just a really good advocate for the game. We both coach the Learn to Play for the Blue Jackets, and we use Johnny as an example all the time because the little kids love him and they look up to him. And he's really important to the community.
As fans continue to contribute to the memorial outside of Nationwide Arena, they also say that this tragedy is a sobering reminder to never drink and drive. In Columbus, I'm Kellyanne Stitz reporting.
Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost has filed a response to the ACLU's appeal to the decision on House Bill 68. Now, that legislation bans surgery and medication for transgender minors, bans transgender women from competing on female sports teams, and protects parents who do not support their children transitioning. Now, earlier this month, a judge granted a judgment allowing the law to take effect. Now, in a statement, Yost says in part, quote, "The court heard the evidence and correctly determined that Ohio's law protecting children withstands the legal challenges raised by the plaintiffs." He goes on to say, quote, "The legislature has the authority to prevent experimental treatments that it deems dangerous for our children, and I will continue to defend the law."
Tonight, we're learning the official rules for the first debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. There will be no live audience. Microphones will be muted when candidates are not speaking, and no written notes are allowed. Both campaigns have pushed back on whether the mic should be muted or not. That debate is scheduled for September 10th in Philadelphia. We're also learning tonight that the Department of Defense will be helping the Secret Service to protect the candidates. This after the failed assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump.
The Department of Defense will provide protective support and that will continue through the election on November 5th, 2024, with anticipated continued support to the president-elect and vice president-elect through the inauguration of January 20, 2025.
The additional support is expected to include both active duty and National Guard forces.
Well, this weekend is what AAA calls the last hurrah of summer. The association predicting Labor Day weekend to reflect what it's been seeing all year. That's a high number of travelers on the road and in the air. Gwyneth Falloon has a closer look at what you can expect for the holiday weekend.
AAA tells me 2024 overall has been a busy travel year. They say that's because we're still seeing people with the post-pandemic travel bug, and the cost to do so is a little cheaper.
We're seeing a 2% decrease in the cost of airfare. So that's kind of fueling people to travel. And also we're seeing about a 30% decrease in gas prices. So we know that tends to fuel people to travel as well.
Compared to Labor Day weekend last year, AAA says air travel alone is up nearly 10%. If you're catching a flight for the holiday weekend, the association says to be prepared for longer lines. Get to the airport at least 2 hours ahead of your takeoff time and download your airline's app so you can get any last-minute updates as quickly as possible. For those of you hitting the road, Ohio State Highway Patrol says Labor Day weekend is infamous for an uptick in preventable deadly crashes. I'm going to have a look tonight at 10 and 11 at what OSHP saw last year and the irreversible consequences you could face for not being responsible behind the wheel. Back to you.
Also, the Miami County Sheriff's Office will have extra deputies patrolling this weekend. It's part of the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign that runs through Monday. The office says extra enforcement has already begun with the focus on getting drunk or impaired drivers off the roads.
Happening right now, let's take a live look at the Archbishop Altar High School, of course, but Altar Fest is just getting underway, and it's a hot one out there. Every year, the school holds a weekend of fun with rides, food trucks, and live music. Tonight's events include face painting, rides with concerts from Britches Down and the Bull Cuts. Festivities run until midnight tonight, so you have plenty of time to head on out. If you can't head out tonight, that's okay. The fun picks back up tomorrow at noon.
A Cincinnati teen hit and killed by a police cruiser. The changes his family hopes will come from the traffic accident.
A new statue at the north entrance.
While also honoring college football's only two-time Heisman Trophy winner.
Now, look at the honor ahead of the opening day tomorrow.
All right, now we have a couple of showers across the region right now. Now, as we head towards the weekend, we'll have a little bit more. We'll talk about that coming up.
The Sports Desk is sponsored
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
A road in central Pennsylvania washed away following overnight storms that caused flash flooding. A pickup truck ended up at the bottom of the pit. Winds knocked down this barn, and not far away, 180 cows were rescued after being trapped in a second barn collapse. And in this photo from Alabama last night, you can see two rain shafts, one on the left and a much larger one on the right.
Want to see your weather photos and videos on TV? Click Chime In on this station's website to share.
New information into the 19-year-old who was hit and killed by a Cincinnati police cruiser. It happened last night in the Spring Grove Village area. Amir Jordan was crossing the street when it happened. Katie Amrine spoke with Jordan's grandmother just a short time ago.
It's a tragic day for Amir Jordan's family. His grandmother tells me he graduated from Don High School in May and was looking forward to starting the next phase of his life. Jordan was hit and killed by a police cruiser after getting off the Metro bus and trying to cross the street. It happened in Spring Grove Village on the corner of Estee and Chickering Avenue. Paula McClendon, Jordan's grandmother, says he had hopes to be a zoologist. He went to Hughes High School for some time, and while he was there, he was a part of the Cincinnati Zoo's Zoo Academy. He also loved karate. Jordan's family members are spending time together today and are still in shock.
We're taking it day by day, asking for prayers. Never knew that we were going to be in this situation. Amir had always said when I got old, he was going to take care of me. I look forward to that. It didn't happen.
Police say the officer who hit Jordan is shaken up by what happened. There also isn't a crosswalk where Jordan died. Jordan's grandmother and a person who lives near the intersection tells us they hope that will change soon.
All right, we're going to switch things over to weather now. Obviously, the biggest story of the day is it was a record breaker.
It was hot.
It was ridiculous.
Just as you said on Facebook, in case you need confirmation that
all
it's
caps.
hot.
It was hot.
Yeah, it was very, very warm out there. I will say that air conditioner was on high on my way to work this afternoon. But we also had a couple of thunderstorms out there. About 90% of us staying completely dry, and probably some of you not even knowing that we had some thunderstorms. But we had a few of them on the stronger side. But up to the north, right around Indian Lake, a few pop-up showers and storms right now, just to the north of Wapakoneta as well. Basically, very isolated in nature. But moving to the south, you can kind of see the remnants of that storm. This is the one that was severe for Clinton and Warren counties, and that has since dissipated and is moving off to the north and east. And over the next 24 to 48 hours, you can see scattered in nature through the day tomorrow. Not expecting a huge rain-making event by any means, but we could see some showers, maybe even a couple of stronger storms, but not expecting any widespread severe chances at all.
Good evening, I'm Matt Digby. This is the Bob's Discount Furniture Sports Desk. It's week 2 of Football Friday, sponsored by Donato's. Games are still a go, but you heard Tim mention the heat, and that has indeed pushed back some of the kickoff times. Our game of the week is at Trotwood Madison as the Rams host Fairmont. That game's still scheduled for 7 o'clock. Big night for Centerville. Their Honor Kirk Herb Street pregame. That game is also at 7 o'clock, but a couple of games have made the call to start at 8 o'clock, including in Tip City. The Red Devils hosting Fairborn to start MBL play. Gwen and I will have highlights and scores coming up tonight at 10 and 11 on Football Friday. One more day until Ohio State football hosts Akron. This was the scene outside the Horseshoe this morning. A new statue at the north entrance honoring Archie Griffin, college football's only 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. This year marks a half-century since the first of those Heisman wins, and this statue is a replica of one that was unveiled outside the Rose Bowl earlier this summer. Archie played in 4 Rose Bowl games. Tomorrow, he will dot the I in the marching band's performance of Script, Ohio at halftime of the football game. Cincinnati Reds playing 2 games today against the Brewers. They had an early lead in game 1 this afternoon, but then had to come from behind as the contest would go to a 10th inning. But the Brewers able to get a run in the 10th and win 5-4. Second game will be starting shortly. Dayton Dragons, meanwhile, getting ready to continue their series against West Michigan. Dragons still control their destiny for a playoff berth. That's a look at sports. I'm Matt Digby.
All right, time for a look at Futurecast. Now, through the rest of the afternoon, those widely isolated showers continuing to move off to the east, and there's that front through the day tomorrow, bringing us a few showers and storms in the morning, and then through the rest of the day, mostly cloudy conditions, and again, a pop-up shower or two possible through the afternoon with that daytime heating that we're going to see. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s with all the cloud cover, and then clearing out nicely as we head towards Sunday morning. Cloud deck sitting to our south, and that clears out even further as we head through the day. You can kind of see the next boundary we're expecting. Not really expecting any rain, but could see a very, very small pop-up shower or two. But again, most of us staying dry throughout the afternoon on Sunday. And as we move through the overnight night on Sunday and into Monday morning, I can't speak today, looking really nice Monday, mostly sunny skies, fall-like temperatures in the 70s.
Well, there's a lot of fun festivals happening in our area this weekend. All the events that you can head out to still ahead.
Get an 11% rebate on everything.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Well, today is special because it's kicking off the holiday weekend. Nathan Edwards shares all the fun things happening around the Miami Valley for Labor Day.
Tons of fun stuff happening in the Miami Valley this weekend for the Labor Day holiday, including Altar Fest, which kicks off tonight at Altar High School over in Kettering. You can head out for food trucks, rides, games, and a whole lot more. It's going to be a wonderful time over at Altar. Then the Kettering Holiday at Home Festival is this weekend. The gala is Saturday. The fun is Sunday and Monday. Of course, the iconic parade Monday morning. Then over at the Levitt Pavilion in downtown Dayton, you can check out a free concert. Tomorrow night, they have Reggae Amplified featuring the Idols, Safari, and Josh Soul. This is a free show, formerly known as Reggae Fest. Should be a wonderful time. So plenty of fun to be had. Make sure you stay nice and cool, pack plenty of water, and have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, here's a look at that hourly forecast for tomorrow. Now, high temperatures, upper 70s, lower 80s, really going to be dependent on where we get the cloud cover, what time we get the cloud cover to come through here and bring us those showers and storms. If we wait till later in the day to get that rain, if that rain waits, I should say, we'll get a little bit warmer. So right now I'm thinking low 80s, but mid 80s by Sunday. And as we head towards Monday, we're looking at mid to upper 70s. So a little bit more fall-like weather, a brief reprieve from the heat. And then it looks like we briefly warm back up again as we head towards the middle of the week, and then potentially cool down by next weekend.
Okay, but not like as hot as like today. This is kind of ridiculous.
Not as hot as today, but I am watching Wednesday and Thursday.